how we can code social media. More specifically, I'll be talking about how we can analyze and code uh, YouTube, like social media as an example, as from YouTube. I wanted to do Instagram, but it requires a little bit of work outside MAXQDA, and I'm trying to focus mostly on MAXQDA, like the features that you can use and are very helpful for researchers within MAXQDA. So I think I would leave talking about um, like Instagram or other social media networks for another session. But for this session, which will be 2 hours and a little bit more than that today because it's a combined session. I hope that's okay for you all. We'll be talking about how to code using MaxiQuad. I'll be talking about in more details. Yesterday we had only a glimpse of that. Today we will be talking about in more details. Without further ado, let me start by saying that qualitative data analysis is not linear. It's iterative, which means that it requires researchers to read and reread code and read more in the research and do many rounds of coding. Uh, so it's important to be patient when you do qualitative data analysis, and at the same time to develop a system where you can read your coding system without giving up. And MaxiQuad, there are like many features that can help you with how to do that, how to code your system, how to organize it, and how to categorize it. Today, I'll be talking about some of these features. Today's agenda, we talked about some of these yesterday, like really quick, but today I'll be talking about them in more details. Today I'll be talking about how data encoding, long short versus short text, how we can analyze and code these data in MaxiQuad. We will be talking about the many approaches that MaxQDA offers when it comes to coding your data. Talking about paraphrasing, open coding, categorization, creative coding, and smart coding. And I'll be talking also about how we can use AI assist responsible, like in a more responsible way when it comes to coding. I'm going to start with data coding. Most of our work for today will be like showing more than telling. Um, Feel free to practice with me if you want. As you can see, I'll be working, sorry, I'll be working on an example from MaxQuad. And I think if you don't remember how to open that, you go to the home menu and from open a project, example projects, and you have the English one right there. If you click there, it will open for you. Uh, so I'm gonna use it at first, then I will have like my own project showcase the work, the coding. I'm gonna start with, as I said, we will start with, sorry, I'll start with the data coding in long, short, short text. What I meant by long and short is that sometimes people want to work with survey data, like in mixed methods analysis. So in the document system, if you can see here, we have surveys here. So once, I'm not going to get to details on how you can import the survey data because we have talked about them and covered them yesterday. But I would mention that once you import your survey data into MaxQDA, it would automatically any question was in the survey, it would become a code. So if you look here, survey open-ended questions, if you look at them here, like for example, why would you spend more time on type of flexible work assignments, arrangements, sorry. These are sort of the questions that have been in the original survey. So when you import them to MaxQDA, you would have them coded immediately into the coding system with, with subcodes and so on. So if you look here at the survey questions here, you have responses from 1 up to 55. Some of them, and we'll see, like some of them are extremely short. While you can definitely analyze these texts and code them. But imagine like you're working with more than 50 surveys sections, or sorry, more than 50 surveys, and you have to go through all of them. This kind of work might be really dominating, and so for some people a bit boring, and sometimes you will have nothing in here, and you spend like long hours doing that. While this might be interesting for some people are looking for more shortcuts, or I wouldn't call it like shortcuts, but more an easier way to analyze and code their data. To do that, uh, we will today we'll be talking about these things, but I wanted to mention something here about sorry, about coding your data. Yeah. So if you go to the analysis section here, imagine that you're working in like in a mixed methods research, and you have survey data, and you want to analyze, you want to code them, but you don't have the time capacity to go one by one, and you want like something like more rapid analysis type of research. You would go to analysis, and under analysis, you will have this categorized survey data. If you click here, it will have this small window over here. It says drag and drop code of survey question from the code system. Now, as I said before, once you import your survey data into MAXQDA, it automatically have the questions within within the survey into coding system. So I'm gonna go here, and why would you spend more time on? I'm gonna drop it here, and I'm say okay, and that would open this new window for me. Now, in this new window, it's a lot easier now for me to navigate and see what I'm dealing with. Like, I have all the responses from the data that deals with the question, why would you spend more time on? I think the question was on just a second. Why would spend more time on this particular activity? So here you have it more in depth, more in a more like focused way. You can read it, all of it. You can see the codes assigned to that. You can add some codes if you wish, but also you can navigate it a little bit more to like in more details. How you can do that? Now, imagine that you are like looking for specific patterns, specific information in this survey question. You can simply do that by, for example, you want to see it according to level of children. If you click on highest level of education, for example, you could filter it from who have like bachelor degree, who has um, master's degree, who has no school education. You can filter it this way. So now it's easier for you to see which you can group them or categorize them into sort of a category that it's easier for you to move it through their code system, and it's easier for you to navigate that. So this is one of the easy categorization tools that you can use, but also there are other more. Yesterday we talked about search and auto code. Again, we talked about like really quick. I'm not gonna get like on all details of that, but I think it's pretty important to talk about these points. So for example, if you go to the again to the menu here, you have search and auto code. If you click here, an example, we write the word education, and you click run search, you will have all the responses that has the word education in them. You could see them like in a more focused way. Now, what can I do with this? You can create and assign a new code. You could add a subcode, for example, and you can use AI to make comments or to summarize the context. But I'm not going to talk about AI yet. This is for the end of the session. We'll be talking about it in a more simple, sort of more details. This is where you can, uh, you know, look into your survey data in a more detailed way. And in this more detailed way, you can act upon it. You can add new codes. Well, I mean, yeah, you can. Some people would say, yeah, but I can do that from the main page, which is true. But imagine that you're dealing with more than like 50 surveys. It would look really complicated a bit if you're doing it from like one screen. This is like a more focused mode for you. But also you can also use Wordy Cloud to see which word has been like the most frequently used, like the most word that has been mentioned in the text. But before you go to Wordy Cloud, make sure that you exit the close the research results for the word education. Now I have all the materials in here. Now I'm gonna go to Wordy Cloud. If you click Wordy Cloud in here, you will have this in your screen. It says time, and you could change the format from your like the filter. I'm gonna go with word frequency. So if you look at word frequency here, you will see a table. In this table, it has the most frequent words that have been used and their percentages and how many times it has been mentioned in a specific document, etc. Now, in these, you see like there's these green circles in here. If you click twice on them, sorry, if you click once on any of them, you could eliminate these words from your wordy cloud. Uh, like something like the prepositions are not really important in this context, so you could eliminate these things. But also you could change the frequency, the minimum frequency of these things. You could change how the table looks like, etc. So this is another interesting way, I guess, that people have. We have a question. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, you were saying that we can eliminate the preposition if we want to. Can you please show that, like how we can remove if we don't want to just see those particular words, frequencies?
Sure, absolutely. So
Thank
in
you.
the Wordy Cloud again, in the Wordy Cloud again. So for example, I'm gonna go back to the end of like the word to, for example, it's not a preposition, but I don't think it's that important for this context. Just an example. You could click once and that's it. You could try to see like the word very. It's not really interesting for me, so I'm gonna take it out. And yeah, pretty much that's it. So these are the words that I don't really need. If you click out from here and rearrange, these words are no longer in the text. They like the opinion. Um, but you also could change things from here over, like, how they would look like, the font and the colors, the alignments, how like the shapes, lots of things that you really can do with these things to fit them in your research paper in a more interesting, sophisticated way. There's also the one of the most important ones. I don't really use it in my studies or in my research or my practices, but maybe it's important for some people, so I'm gonna mention it. In code with dictionary. I'm not really familiar with it, like in a more advanced way. So basically, if you have a dictionary, like you manually or I think automatically, you can include specific search terms within the dictionary, and you can, after that, auto code your work based on these categories. I'm not getting into that, but this is an area worth exploring, honestly. Uh, so yeah, this is about uh, the short phase long coding data. So now this means that we can move to the second part, and actually the main part of our session for today, which is paraphrasing. Now, uh, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna like add a new paper because I want to show, okay, yeah, I'm gonna show something that's from my work, my own work. So we have here, yeah. So in this, so in this interview, I was interviewing one of my friends at university to talk about academic writing skills and how things are complicated. When this was part of my thesis a couple of years ago. And today, this is will be one of the examples that I'll be using to talk about paraphrasing and about coding and analysis. Now, before I start, I want to just show you this book by MAXQDA. You can find it online in MAXQDA Press. I will post the link in the email today. You can get this book. I'm not sure like if you can see it very well because of my camera or not, but this book is has like many examples of how you can do data analysis, and they give like many examples on how you can do that. And at the same time, it's a very good resource for people who want to learn more about qualitative data analysis using MaxQDA. It's for free as PDF. I will send you the link today because they talk about rapid analysis for some people who are running out of time and they want to submit their thesis or their research or their articles, and they need something more practical to do other than spending a long time, and they are more flexible. So this is the sort of a book that can give you that push that you need to do your studies. So now today the first feature we'll be talking about is called paraphrasing. And as it really sounds, paraphrasing is when the text is like clearly too long and you want to make it shorter. So if you come here to the document browser, the one we talked about yesterday, which is like the largest screen in the window, here in the menu, you will see this toglet. If you hover over it, it would look kind of a gray. I think I'm not like it's not really clear here, but it should. If you open the software, you can see it. Once you hover over it, you will say paraphrase mode on and off, which means that you have to open it and close it when you finish working. So the first thing to do if you want to paraphrase a specific part, you need to, first of all, to click open. Now, once you click open, you will see that the main menu above has a change from home or from import to analysis. And you can see the paraphrase section in here. Now, if you want to paraphrase a specific part, and for example, we're talking about this paragraph. Uh, the interviewee was talking about how he feels about academic writing, how he anxious it makes him, and that there's no academic writing courses offered at university, and so on. I think the dilemma that every PhD and master student has. Uh, so if I want to like paraphrase a specific part, then I need to highlight that specific part. But if I don't want, I want to have like to paraphrase the whole paragraph. The easiest way and the most easier way is to go to the paragraph here, and it says just click once. That's it. Then you will have this new screen. Here you could write what is the paragraph about. You could paraphrase it in a more easier way. Let me start by writing something. S feels anxious when writing or thinking about academic writing. No English Sorry, no, I can't. Writing courses. So this is, if you click OK, then you will have it here as a comment, but it's not a comment, it's paraphrasing, and you can see it because it looks orangey, orange color. But also you can see that in the coding system here, in the code window, it has become as a paraphrased segment. So it became a code as well at the same time. And it's very important why that's it's here because we'll be talking about how we will use it as a code in a bit. I need to code to paraphrase other parts just a little bit more. But before I move on, I wanna show you something different. If you click it twice, and if you want to use something more, if you want to like have like more comparison of your paraphrasing and AI paraphrasing, and you can see I have used my own paraphrasing first, then I moved to AI, just to see if I have done it correctly or not. If I not if AI can do it better than me, but if AI can add a little bit more to my own paraphrasing or not. I'm gonna go to AI assist, but before that, you can see here there's this number 511. This is the number of characters that allows the number of characters that you can have to analyze or to sorry to paraphrase to write or paraphrase. So I'm gonna go with AI assist and they ask you like, do you want to replace that? Uh, okay. So they ask you which the language, and this is where it gets interesting. Imagine that you're working on a document that is as this one is in English, but you want your paraphrasing to be in a different language. Uh, like I'm sure, like among participants, we have variety of languages. I don't want to choose another language uh, to showcase that, but if you choose any of these languages and you choose to the length of the text, you could make it short, medium, long. I'm gonna go with short. So it sort of was something close to what I have written about that. Sorry, that academic writing makes him anxious. So if we click OK, it would still give me it's only one paraphrase that has been done, as you can see here in the coding window. But here it says AI, so it shows that I have not written that. So the citation here goes like, yeah, AI said that. I did not say that. So this is really important to keep in mind. I'm gonna go a little bit more and try to code something else. Sorry, to paraphrase something else so we can um, move to the next step on how to see how that works. Remember that it's still on, and you can see it because it's like a little bit gray. So here we're talking about feedback and how what type of feedback that we receive on academic writing and whether like the first best we receive writing. Uh, okay, let me just go through it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one because I don't want to have the whole paragraph. Mhm. Yeah. So in this paragraph, he's talking about how academic writing from student point of view is really complicated, and how he as a student can write academic papers if he never had any academic writing courses or done anything academic during his master thesis. And he talks about how he lacks motivation from his professors and so on. I think for some people, these are some problems that we all can relate to at one point in our academic lives. So uh, let's see. Mhm. Like so, in some people in paraphrasing part the right keywords, and I'm not saying like I'm against keywords when writing paraphrasing, but I think we all forget why we have mentioned these keywords in the first place. So it's safer to say that you should mention only like if you like make it more sentences would be like more interesting and more important and more valuable to you when you go through paraphrasing segments and you want to to refine your coding system. Keywords are like easily forgotten, so sentences makes a lot more sense than keywords. However, I'm gonna come up with a sentence. Lack of motivation, for example, to uh, write academic paper and mhm, phrases. Right, this is just an example. I'm sure like there's more to that than what I have written, but for the sake of time, because we have a lot of things to cover yet. If you click OK, you will have it again here. And in the coding system, you have it like now you have two things. Now, what can I do with this? I mean, like, yeah, I could go more and more and more and paraphrase other parts. Uh, I'm gonna go with this one, just like one more, so it will be easier for us to see how that goes. I'm gonna use AI this time. AI assist. I'm gonna choose something medium because it's a very big paragraph, long paragraph. And the most important part is that AI keeps it in the word limit. But here, if you look at if you know your data, and I'm sure that this is the very first steps when it comes to data analysis that you need to read your data thoroughly. Uh, if you read the paraphrasing that AI gave you, do not accept it immediately. You have to read it and reread it again, make sure that it really fits uh, your uh, your paragraph or your data. And if you edit that, please do that. Edit what AI gave you, but at the same time, keep a log of what you have mentioned, what you have analyze which times you have used AI, which times you have uh, refused what AI gave you, but and you made corrections. If you click OK, then you would have like now we have a three. Now this is good, right? Now we need to first of all to turn this toggle off. Now it's off. If you come to paraphrase here to this section in here, and you have paraphrase document, where this is where you can paraphrase the whole document, not only paragraphs. You have categorized paraphrases, and you have paragraph paraphrases metrics. I'm gonna go with the categorized because this is where I want to talk about today. Now, remember when we talked about survey, and you will have your categorization of your survey in one place. Now, this works the same thing. Now, we have this is in a more focused way, in a more focused window. Here you can see the paraphrase, the codes, and paraphrase segments. Here, you could now see what AI or what kind of paraphrases that you have written. There are no codes, but we have the paraphrasing segments. Here you could read more clearly that these specific parts that you have paraphrased and these paraphrase segments, and you can give them codes. To give them codes, all you need to do is click on this part and right click on your mouse, create and assign new code. Here, you could write your code, can use a code memo, give it a color, and so on. Now, this is when it comes to paraphrasing, and it's an easier way to do that. To when it comes to rapid analysis, or you don't have time, or you have a short period of time to submit some kind of work. I would not recommend using paraphrasing all the time. I think that if you, for example, if you have like 10 interviews, for example. And I mean, the length of an interview, like imagine like interview that lasted for 1 hour, this would make it like 10 to 11 pages long. I would not use paraphrasing system for the whole um, interviews that I have, like 10 interviews. I would use like for the first two or three to understand how my coding system would work, and how I would think about my coding system, understand my data more accurately, more correctly. And after that, I would be able to uh, put paraphrasing aside, and start coding my data in a more um, easier context, and in an easier way. So overusing paraphrasing would not really be a good choice. I recommend using it only for the first few steps in your data analysis, on your coding, when you were like trying to make sense of your own data. And uh, uh, Anything else I want to mention here? No, I guess no. That's all. Yeah, there's one more point here I want to mention, is that here you could see like two things. This is where you can filter your paraphrases context, but here whether you can make a new code. So in some methodologies that you can create codes, you can create a code system, then you can do the analysis. I'm not really familiar with these methodologies. I am solely focused on thematic analysis all my entire academic life. We will be having a session on that uh, very soon. In thematic analysis, we do not create a coding system and we do the analysis. It has a little bit different curve to get to that, the coding system and the analysis. We'll be talking about that then. But for some methodologies, and I'm sure we have great researchers here, they can relate to that. You can create the coding system, then you can, do the coding based on the code system that you have created. So this, that's up to how your methodology and your research uh, work. So this is about paraphrasing. Any questions about paraphrasing? Yes, go ahead, please. Yes, Hujam.
Oh, hello, thank you, Jam. Actually, my question is not directly related to paraphrasing. Recently, students are using ChatGPT for open-ended surveys. And when you are finishing your paper, you personally believe that they have answered by themselves. But when you check it by Turnitin or any other instrument, you see that the codes, the expressions they have used, they have created by ChatGPT or any AI. Is there any, let's say, technique we can eradicate? Because the researchers sincerely believes that the participants have answered, they are their own answer. But it happened to me in one of my last papers, and I see that most of the participants have used AI to respond to the, let's say, open-ended survey or questionnaire. Thank you, John.
Uh, Stuffy question. I think not like MAXQDA when it, like, for example, if someone wants to analyze their survey data using MAXQDA, once they import these questions into MAXQDA, you could have a report of that. But prior to that, when it comes to answering easy questions in any context, I'm not really familiar with any way that to prove that. So I'm sorry I could not answer your question in a more sophisticated way. Yeah. So this takes us now to open coding, and open coding is one of the interesting aspects of MAXQDA. Now remember to turn off your, your paraphrasing system once you finish. Now takes us to open coding. Now, if you go to the same menu here on the same level with the paraphrasing system, you have these looks like a, a, a circle with two rings. It's called open coding mode. Here in open coding mode is if you click here once and you highlight any part, like for example, I'm gonna go, I like writing, right? If you select this, it will open this in new window. So whatever you highlight in this area, or any word or any paraphrase or any segment that you highlight, it would become open coding mode. So if you write here, for example, uh, love for writing. This is my code. S talks about why he likes writing. But here I want to have a comment because I know here he's not talking about the content writing, he's talking about like general writing. As mentioned that about general writing, not academic writing. Now, if I click OK here, I would have the code here. I have it coded in the margin. I have the code in the coding window, but I also have a memo. And the memo here, if you click twice on the memo, you will have your note written here. So this helps you to remember why you have coded this part this way. So you would not like forget why I have coded this part this way. I recommend using, again, this is another toggle that you have to turn it on and off. And again, once you click on this one, it will open the analysis section to for some of these tools. We'll be talking about them in a second. Now here, sometimes when we read when we read our survey or we read our data or transcripts, the materials that we're working with, sometimes we feel that the people we have interviewed or they given us the data, they have said something in a way that is more convincing than what we could do, right? And you could not think about another code that you could code that word except what they have said. So this is one of the tools that you can use, to do that. And I think open coding makes it a lot easy in some like in some situations when you wanna add some information or some details to your coding system, but you don't want to keep going back and forth and add a memo manually to that. So because here, as I said, like I don't have, for example, I don't have any sort of backlink towards writing. Now, this if it was a code, it does not code the whole sentence as a code. You can give it a specific code. It's opposite to the in vivo, and this is something that we have done yesterday. In vivo coding means that whatever you highlight, any segment that you highlight, it would become that code. But here it's different because you highlight a part, you could give it a specific code, and you could add code memo and you could add a comment or to that segment. So when you get back to your coding system, it's like, wow, why did I why did I code this area this way, or why did it give this segment this code? It would make more sense to you, and it would help you a lot in categorizing your coding system. Now, I highlighted this one, and I think this one is really good, and I think he loves writing because he does not have any bad feelings towards writing, right? So I'm gonna drag and drop this one here, and this would give it me another code to this one. So don't forget to turn it off from here, but also you could do text search and auto code. So you could do it like extended, but you can just like the usual one. Let's say we're looking for the word. I mean, we're talking about academic writing. I don't want to make like very obvious. So I'm gonna go with feedback. And if we say run search, we will have it here. Now, he mentioned feedback 4 times. And he highlighted that word for us. Now, if you click here once, it would take you, sorry, I'm gonna just make this a little bit shorter. It would take you to that particular part in your document here. You can see it where this word came from. So I'm gonna go like another one. It will take me to that particular paragraph, and this is where you can, try to code your data here in a lot easier way. To like you find the context based on the text search, and you can code your data from there. So this is for text search. Also, you could use the word explorer. We talked about it like very briefly yesterday. I'm going to talk one more time. If you click on analysis, word explorer, here the word anxious, and it's like explore. It's 7 hits. It's one document because this is the only documents that we have. The word combinations is very important for if you're doing like a psychology research, getting anxious, feel anxious, or you're doing semantics. It's pretty important for some people. So these are some of the examples. If we do it like with academic writing. So with academic writing, we have 24. It has been mentioned 24 times, and it gives you more details to it. So this when it comes toward Explorer. Any questions so far? No questions. All right, great. Okay. Now, yesterday we talked about a little bit about creative coding, but today I want to talk about it like in more details. So I'm gonna go back to my old project from MAXQDA because it has more data there. I'm gonna go to interviews by Salim from here, and we have this. Now I want to do like creative coding. Creative coding is a way, to visualize your data, but at the same time to see your data in a more a focused visual way. So I'm gonna go to code system. I'm gonna go creative coding. From here, it will open this a new system. Sorry, new window. I'm gonna look at the codes that I have. I'm gonna go with, education. Gonna drag and drop, just like, drag and drop. And creative as really it sounds, because you do most of the work here, and you can change things as you wish. So now I have this, right?
Can you
I
show
have
once
these
again,
codes.
sorry for interrupting you. Can you
Yeah,
show once again how you can open creative coding? Because I've missed it.
absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Mhm. So we have, this is the main window. We have the codes part here, the codes menu, we have a creative coding in here. You click on creative coding and it would open that
Okay, thank
window.
you.
So here in this section, as I said, we can just like drag and drop the codes that you want. But remember that without reading your work thoroughly, it's going to be really hard to do this creative coding. Now, what I can do with this here is that I can, now the numbers, again, these are the coded frequency. If you don't want to see them, you can turn them off from here. In the menu, you have coded frequency, you can turn it on and off. Now, I want to see if there's connection between these, right? So, for example, do I think that there is a connection between work, life separation, and family and friends? I guess, yeah, these are really close to each other, and I want to connect them. So there's this link, this link defined as a subcode. So when you use this and you connect two codes together, the one that's using like facing the arrow here becomes a subcode. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna like click there. I'm gonna use it like this, just like again, drag and drop. So now work-life separation became a subcode for family and friends. You can, sorry, now if you want like move them around, you have to turn that one off and you can, move that around as you wish. Okay, I want to connect also like a couple of others, like for example, childcare and work-life separation. They might really be linked to each other as a subcode. Sorry. So I'm going to work-life separation and children is another, they are connected to each other. Childcare might be connected to domestic work. No, maybe. So you think about your own data this way. So I'm going to like domestic work is far away from education, for example. I'm going to like put this one here. It's like, okay, this is childcare, domestic work, but childcare also means that, sorry, child care could be like related to education. So this might not look like the perfect look, but this is a way for you to give yourself a little bit of how coding system and how subcodes work in MAXQDA. This is not the final work for creative coding because you can save it as map in Max Maps and you can develop that more. I'm gonna leave it as it is now, but we have a session on visualization using MAXQDA. We'll be talking about the many ways you can visualize your data and how you can use these specific codes in creative coding and smart coding, which we'll be talking about in a second, how you can use them in Max Maps to make concept maps, how you can use it to have interesting visualization of your data. A couple of more things here is that color code, you can change how some codes look like and how they're colored or not. Okay, can change that, but you have, to highlight which one you want to change. You could, the alignments, you can change that. Circle, sorry. You could, highlight them and make them like different shapes. You have to highlight them before you do the coding. You can move them as you wish. You could, export it and or copy paste it in your data. And once you say finish creative coding, this would apply to your actual coding system. So you have to be mindful and you have to take care of that when you do this part. If I said the finish creative coding, it would change my coding system. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna not do that. Okay.
And what does it mean that save as save as a map in Max Map? So if I click on this, what does it mean?
It does mean that when you come to visual tools and you come to Max Maps in here in visual tools, if you click in Max Maps, you will have you'll have like as a map in here. So all
it
them,
makes
if you
sense to save it because if you click that you're don't want to change your data, at least you have the saved map, right? Okay.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
thank
So
you.
we have here different kinds of maps. Like you
Okay.
can all over the projects that I have done, I have like
Mhm.
maps for everything in here. And this is our last one. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to codes. We have talked about creative coding. We will talk about smart coding, and we'll go for a break. So for smart coding tool, again, from code system, you have it here, smart coding tool. If you click on the smart coding tool, you would have this new screen. And again, here yesterday we had like a quick glimpse on that. I'm gonna talk like a little bit on more details here. Now you have the codes in here. You have the coded segments and you have the codes, and you can create subcodes at the same time. To do that, now you have it like in a more interesting, more focused way that you have here. You could see how many coded segments in the documents that you are reading here. You could also display parent code and subcode. You can see where like which code you are dealing with is the parent code or the subcode, sorry, the child code. You would see the documents if there are like any comments that have been written on specific parts and display favorite variables. If you click on this one, uh, so the blue ones are the information that you have imported from your data, but the the red ones are metadata. So things that have been created when you imported your data. So you did not import them. MAXQDA created them. We call them metadata, but the blue ones are the ones that came with your data. Like if you these I think from they coming from a survey. You could choose which ones that you want. If you like highlight any of them, you could have them here as well. But if you don't want to see them, it's easier this way. You could just, click again on display all favorite variables and they would go away. Now here you could go with search and add a code, which again, if you want to look for specific words in the system, I'm going to go with the word education. And now I have nothing. The word education, sorry, my glitch in my system. I apologize. Just okay. I have to reopen my. It's really, it's really to happen that Mexico, by the way, close in the middle of, you know, us, in the middle of work. But there we go. Let me share my screen again. Just a second. I'm so sorry for this.
I have a question, if I may. Like then, in order
Please.
to find out these maps that we were talking about, how to find them? I mean, when you close it and after, yeah, if you can show, thank you.
First. Okay, just a second. Um, I don't know what's wrong with my laptop now. Just a second. I'm so sorry. Um,
Maybe we can take 5 minutes for break.
Yeah.
okay, that would be okay. Absolutely. All right. 5 minutes break. I'll be back. Thank you so much. Welcome back, everyone. I apologize for the glitch in my system. So today we will continue with the presentation. I think we had a question about maps. So Max maps are individual tools in Max Maps. If you click on Max Maps under visual tools, you would have all the maps that you have used before during your whole project. If this is a specific project, you can have them in here, and it give you like more details when you like hover over it. I hope that answers the questions about Max Maps. Now we will continue. I was talking about smart coding, and yeah, I was talking about smart coding. I'm going to go back to smart coding here under codes. If you click on smart coding, it would open this new window. And if you search for a specific word or word was education, you would have these coded segments that has the word education. Now, I could read more carefully, more closely to my data. I could see why the word education has been mentioned here. I could then analyze, sorry, code my data according to these points or these ideas. Here again, if you want to add a code, you can simply come to the menu here. You could add a code from here, a new code, and you can write your code, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. Click on the coded segments that you wish, right-click, you can create a code or a new code, or you could remove code if there was a code there. So before you do that, don't forget to, write display parent code to make sure that you can see your code system in there. So also here you could include AI assist. If you come here and you have summarized listed text segments into code summary or into comments, my favorite here is to suggest subcodes based on these codes. So for example, I'm going to go to a long one, like for example, this one. I'm going to come to this one as like, okay, I want summarize a segment into comment. If you click here, you would have, again, this new window. It's similar to the one we had with paraphrasing, but in this context, it has the length been like you want it like as a sentence, so like sentences, or you want it as a topic list, like pinpoints. I'm going with topic list, and then you would so now you have it here, personal development. So I'll give you like keywords to what is this specific segment is all about. Now, from reading this segment, and from the comments, I could think about some codes that I could include regarding this specific segment. Anything I want to add here? No, and Word Cloud works the same way. Let me close this one in here. And smart coding tool, with everything you apply here also applies to the coding system. So be mindful with that as well. I'm going to go to AI and coding, sorry, AI assistant coding. I'm going to talk about it like really briefly because we have an entire session on that very soon. But want to show you something before we talk about AI and social media analysis. So here, imagine that I'm working with Salim in here, and I want to have some codes. So if you come here and you click right click, you have like many options here. If you come to AI assist, if you come here to AI assist, you will have chat with this document, AI coding, summarize and summarize. Now, if you click on AI coding, and I don't recommend going with AI unless you have a very good details and understanding of your data. that you have read it very carefully, you have developed at least some sort of a coding system that you think would fit your study very well, and you need a second opinion. You want to make sure that you have that what you have written, what you have done makes really sense. So this is when you go to AI to assist you and your work, not to do your work for you. If you click on AI coding in here, and you have now the document Salim. Now, without again, and this is why AI coding in MAXQDA is really interesting and really important. That you cannot, and when you want to do the coding, you cannot do any coding analysis without having a code system. So here it asks you to drag and drop a code here. Now, if you don't have a coding system, you cannot possibly do AI coding because the AI built in MAXQDA would take the code system that you have created based on the codes that you have coded, the segments, and the segments that you have highlighted as well. You give them a code, and based on that, especially, and also if you have comments or memos linked to that part, it would understand why you have highlighted that part. That's why when I talked about open coding, I said it's important to have comment or a memo there to remind yourself, and now to remind AI why you have assigned this specific code to that. So I'm gonna go with, let's see, education. I'm gonna come with education here. Now, in this specific code memo, so you want to tell AI why or what should they code and what they should not include. Now, if this is really complicated for you, you can go to this help mark and it will take you to MAXQDA manual and it will give you some ideas, some examples to that. But if you know your data very well and you write here like this document is about work-life balance, and I want to understand the educational background of Sally. You could also add information if you want to avoid anything, but I can't think of something at the moment. So I'm just going to click OK. Now it will analyze these, sorry, it will code these areas, but it will mention that this has these areas or these segments have been coded using AI. You can change that, but I would not recommend doing that because when you import your entire system, it would shows that these areas have been coded by AI. Now, it shows here that one segment is coded for education in the entire document. But if you change your code memo, the memo that you have included when you drag and drop education, we have written like one sentence. If you wrote it like more in details, you would have like different results. So if we click OK here in the coding system, we have education under work-life and balance. Under the code education, and we have a subcode for education. So we have a parent code, which is work-life balance. We have a child code, subcode education, and for the the child code, we have another subcode which has been done by AI. Now, if you click here, it would take you to that one here. So now it has been highlighted, but as you can see, it has highlighted the whole thing. It did not like highlight like a specific part when it comes to education. And at the same time, it has mentioned that some information about why AI has highlighted this part, why AI chose this part to highlight as to code this segment as for education. You can see it here. It has mentioned like this has been done by AI. And also it has included a memo for you. And the memo, if you click on the memo here twice, it would say that this document is about work balance, and I want to understand the education background setting. The memo that I have included. But here, there's nothing. You can use AI sources here, but I'm not going to talk about them just for another day. But you can see here in the comment that AI mentioned that they have done that, and this is why they have done that. And this help you or help us to understand how AI coding works and when we can use it. Now, another thing I want to talk about AI coding or like AI system here is that it's meant to help you in specific tasks, but it's not about helping you doing all your work. So you have to not rely on AI in doing your work. You have to rely on yourself doing your work first, and use AI as a second eye to to analyze or to give you like a second opinion on your data. This is all for how to code your data. Actually, no, there are a couple of points I missed mentioning yesterday before I moved to YouTube and how you can analyze YouTube data, is that you can also analyze pictures. So I'm gonna go to images here in the code document here in the, and so for example, working outside. Right. So we have this picture here, right? So from this picture, I could code my data. Like if you're like looking for a specific patterns in here, all you need to do is to move your mouse over that part, and you would give it a code, like for example, from here, and so new code, like I don't know, like buildings, for example, and you give it a color, you add the memo, and you click OK, and now it has been highlighted. All you need to do is just, highlight the area where you find interesting or important, or interesting for your research, depending on what kind of images that you want to include. Yes, we have a question. Please go ahead.
Hello, sorry, how did you insert the picture?
Yeah, sorry. So the picture in this example was included in the system, but if you want to import anything from this main menu in here, you click on import and you can include it from here. You can include images, audios, videos, everything that you can think of. You can import it from the import menu.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Now we will talk about now an example that is not, about social media. I wanted to do this like on a different day, but I think it's best if we do it today, since we're talking about coding. So today I'm working on a new project nowadays, and I have chosen this video for today's sorry, for today's session. Now, to be able to analyze YouTube videos, this is possible to do through MAXQDA. And to do that is really simple. All you need to do is copy, paste the link that you have taken from YouTube, come to import, and click on YouTube data. Once you click here, if you have used a previous YouTube video, you will have it here. But if you want to use something different, I'm gonna paste mine here. I'm gonna say retrieve video information. Once you do that, I think it's mine. Yeah. So now here it appears the name of your video, that the one that has been mentioned on YouTube. It shows how many comments, and MAXQDA can bring the last 10,000 comments on a video. It shows if there are like any transcripts. If there are comments, they can again retrieve them to the working space. Then you have you can auto-code them. It means that they would appear here auto-coded as codes, but they would appear in not really like as replies. We will see that in a little bit. It shows which languages have been mentioned in the audio. Sometimes it can be more than English, actually, like in other languages also accessible. If you want to include times in transcripts or not, link existing video for the transcripts if you have it like extra with you. If you click OK, in seconds, you will have it like as usual. It takes less than that, but my internet is kind of slow today. Sorry. So now here, MAXQDA has retrieved and has imported these files from. As you can see, it has created an entire document only specific for the YouTube data that I have imported. It's created with the same name as the YouTube video. It has included 3 files. The first one, I'm gonna take a look there. If you click here twice, you will see that it has included the comment and who said that. And these things are really important because for analysis, you like, depending on the work that you're working on, these things are really important. So we will talk about how we can analyze and how we can categorize these data. But also in the second, and you can see that here there's this number 311. This is the number of the work that has been coded in here. So you have 311 codes in the comment section alone. Now, in this one, the second one is the transcripts that that's available on in the video. And the third one, the last one, is another like the rest of the transcripts, because it was mentioned that you have 2 different transcripts in the video. So these are the 2 transcripts have been imported. Now, with the main document here, it has a memo. And the memo is really important because it contains a lot of information that are very useful for analysis. If you click it twice here, it would open this new memo that includes many information. Now, it includes the title, the author of this video, a link to that, published times, all these things, the description and why, and the description like in more details. All these information are really important to, if you want to document your journey into analysis, and if you need to provide a proof of your work, this is the way to do that. So this memo is really important. Other than doing maybe like other software, they can do that, but you have to enter all this information manually. Now you have it there in seconds. Now let's move to the coding system here, and you can see that it has also made the coding system for it called YouTube import. This is the main code or the parent code of your data that has been imported with YouTube video. If you click here, you'll see top level comment with replies. If you scroll down, you will have reply to comment, which means that it has imported the main comments that are like under the video, but also some people, reply to comments. So the reply to the reply, they have been mentioned as well. And you could see that the number of replies that have been like mentioned here. You could take more, like, for example, 0 replies was like the most one. We have like 1 reply like 16 times. Now, I want to look at this one, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna like this one, and I'm gonna go to AISS, for example, and I'm gonna go with suggest subcodes, because I want to understand, I want to understand what information can I is there in this specific part. But again, we don't use AI immediately. I feel sometimes the need to say this every time I make a session about AI at MAXQDA. We don't use AI blindly. We have to take step by step when we go towards AI. So, but just for the sake of observation and then practice, I will show this. So if you click on suggest subcodes in here, it would so okay. So one reply, you need it in English. You can use in other languages as well. You can add it as bullet list, or you could just add it as a paragraph. I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, okay. Now it would suggest subcodes under the one reply. I will give you a question just in a second. I just want to show this really quick. As you can see now, once it finished, it gave you the subcode suggestions, but it did not do the analysis. Sorry, did not do the coding immediately for you. It left this work for you to first to read it, to understand it, to see if it really fits, if it's really about that or not, if it's sensitive or not. All these things are very important. So it would give you the subcode, but it would give you also an example from the text, from the transcripts, and from the comment themselves. So you can relate if you watch the video and if you understand your materials very well, you would notice that the examples mentioned under the subcode is not only from the comments, it's also from the transcripts. That's why MAXQDA import both the transcript and the comments to link these ideas together. And this is where AI come in and try to connect these two things together. Now, I have these examples here. I can look at them. I can read them very carefully. I can apply to some of them to my comments. I have to go back to these specific replies, read them, and assign codes based on that. And I think we know how to give codes and subcodes at this moment. Yes, we have a question.
I just missed it from where to get this, how to suggest subcode thing.
Yeah,
Where did
absolutely. Yeah. I'll just demonstrate it with another one. So now we are in the code system in here, and I can see the replies, and I think these replies are really interesting. So if you go with code or a subcode that has been coded once or twice, it would not really generate something really interesting or something really practical. So I would go with something that is like 5 and up, uh, to be able to have more in-depth analysis or coding system there. So for example, reply to comment has been coded 177 times. Right click and reply to code, AI assist, suggest subcodes. If you click here, you would have this in your window, and you can do that in any different language that you want. Once you click OK, you will have this information. But another interesting feature, again, I don't want to talk about AI, but I keep coming back to AI, is that from AI Assist, you can have a chat with your coding system. And if you click to chat with this codes segment, it will take you to this new window in a second. So you will have this in your window. Welcome to our chat. This is strictly academic chat that you can have with your specific segment. Here, you could talk with your segment in any language, in any dialect, even if, so the text now is English, you could speak in Turkish or any other language that you wish to speak. You could speak with a dialect, different dialect, like written dialect, and AI would really answer these questions. For example, my go-to question is, tell me the top 3 comments. And it would generate that in a second. So it gave me these top comments from the 177 segments, but at the end of that segment, it has mentioned a number. Now, if you click on that number, it would take you to that specific part. And this is why it's really important to keep citation and keep a log of your work, because if I can do that, we should too as well. So if you click here, it would take you back to that specific one. And this one was like the most, the top one, because it has get like the most likes, I suppose. Also, or this one, it would take you that specific part, and this one is take you to the that specific part. And based on that, you can start and do your analysis in a more, flexible way. And I think I want to also mention we talked about this. Okay, do you have any questions for me? Any questions about AI, about MAXQDA in general, things that we have covered so far? No questions? No. Sounds fantastic. No questions. Okay. I have done a little bit of mixture between the sessions. So I will send you the updated schedule for the sessions. The next session for tomorrow or for this week will be in the evening, since I'm working and I think all of us are working. So it will be in the evening. I will give you. I'll send you the handouts for this session. I think we have 2 handouts for this session anyway. I'll be sending you a copy of the book I mentioned today, the qualitative. It's like from MAXQDA, and I also send you the recording of the session. Once you have the recording from the session, it would come as it would come from Istanbul Aydın University, which is like my previous university. So keep an eye for that specific email. If you have any questions during today's session or any other session, and if you want me to cover specific ideas in MAXQDA, please let me know. Happy to do that. Yes, hocam.
I would like to thank, on the behalf of myself and Iranian colleagues, your contribution. Thank you very much. My sincere thanks and gratitude for your time, endeavor, and support.
Thank you, of course. Thank you, John. Right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for attending today's session. It was shorter than yesterday. But before we go, we have another question. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I would like to. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, please.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, my question is, do we have time to demonstrate how to use Facebook, Twitter, and any other social media web link?
I have not prepared anything for other social media. I only prepared for YouTube for the moment, but in upcoming session, I'll make sure to cover some of these things.
Yeah, thank you so much.
First. Yes, we have another question.
Yeah, actually, when I did what you have told me, like right click on the reply to comment, and there, the pop-up is there. The selected code doesn't contain enough coded segments to create useful subcode suggestions. So what I need to do further? Sorry, just you're about to close the session and I'm asking questions. But
no worries. It's totally fine. So if it does not create a subcode system, it means that you don't have enough context for AI to generate based on that. So you should give it like a larger segment or a longer segment from your data, so it could have it as an example to analyze your data. So increase the number of like of sentences, and based on that, it would be easier to generate more subcodes.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe I'll just play
Of course,
around and then I'll get to know better. But thank you. It was
it
very
is that.
useful session. Yeah,
Of
thank
course.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I will send you all the required materials after the session. Thank you so much for coming today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you very much indeed.